it's just so hard for me to talk about. I really don't want to trigger anyone, but I'm a big believer in people change. Hey you guys, this is Reese Omega, and you are watching Hey Sis TV. Now I hope you're ready to get your life. I hope you're ready for these thoughts. I hope you're ready for these opinions, and I hope you're ready for this tea, because you're all gonna get it on Hey Sis TV. Hey guys and girls, and all my non-binary folks. I'm Reese Omega, and you are watching Hey Sis TV. Now, before I start this video, I need y'all to do a couple things for me first. I need you to subscribe to the channel. I need you to like, share, and comment this video, sis. Now, this video, this post is going to be about the whole Gayle King interviewing Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant and his legacy and his death. Okay, because Lisa Leslie and Kobe were really good friends. I must admit, this is a very, very difficult subject for me to talk about because I don't want to offend anyone and I don't want to trigger anybody. So it was very hard for me to formulate an opinion about this issue, because there's so many things to talk about and there's so many things that's involved in all of this. Where I will start is, I know that Kobe Bryant, his death, his sudden death, and the death of his daughter was very, very hard for people to take in, because he was a beloved, character. People really saw inspiration in him. People were in love with Kobe Bryant. I remember, I'm not a basketball fan myself, but I remember the admiration people had for Kobe Bryant, So I understand that his death was like really difficult for people to process, especially most likely his family and especially his fans. So I wanted to put that out there. His death was difficult for people. People were very sensitive about anyone bringing up the rape allegations that happened with Kobe Bryant back in like 2003. And I've seen people kind of tiptoe around it. I've seen people get very infuriated if anyone mentioned his rape allegation. So I knew that eventually a journalist or a interviewer is going to ask someone close to Kobe Bryant about the rape allegations, and we're gonna set a wildfire. And in this case, it was Oprah Winfrey's best friend, Gayle King. Now, after watching the interview with Gayle King and Lisa Leslie, I didn't necessarily feel like Gayle was being malicious or being anti-Kobe. I think his rape allegation is a part of his legacy. It's a part of his story when it comes to him being a public figure. And if you're talking to someone's best friend, well, one of their best friends, and that person has had, some tumultuous things happen in their life publicly, you're going to ask them how they feel about that, especially it being a woman. How does she feel about Kobe Bryant and his rape allegations? The only part of the interview that I felt was kind of insensitive was when Lisa Leslie was talking about how she's been in the clubs with Kobe Bryant. He's never displayed, trying to get with the women in the club or trying to have her get the women in the club to come to him, and how she just didn't see that side of him. And Gayle was like, well, you wouldn't see that. You're his friend. You wouldn't see that. That's the only part I kind of felt was a little bit of a stab. But the other questions to me were completely valid. Like, you're talking about Kobe Bryant, you're talking about the death of Kobe Bryant, you're talking to a woman, and you're going to ask her about the allegations. I really don't feel like it was that big of an issue. That only that one part where she said, well, you wouldn't see that, was kind of weird to me. But I don't feel like Gayle King was being malicious. I really just think she was being a journalist, and she was just asking questions about things that happened to Kobe Bryant to one of his good friends that might have had something to say, that might have had something to say that could change how people feel about Kobe Bryant. Now, when it comes to the other issues that are involved, with Kobe Bryant's rape case, it's just so hard for me to talk about. I really don't want to trigger anyone, but I'm a big believer in people change. I'm a big believer in people evolve from their past selves, especially when they were younger people. When it comes to his rape case, you have to believe both parties. Because Kobe Bryant insists that he did not recognize it as a non-consensual sexual experience. He acknowledged that maybe the victim felt as though it was not consensual, but he felt it was consensual. We don't know. Like, no one knows what truly happened. Like, the alleged victim refused to testify at the end of the day and just wanted an apology from him. And that just leaves a lot of things open to opinion. These are a lot open to assumptions. So it's kind of hard. But at the end of the day, from what I understand, Kobe Bryant came from that situation and made a full transformation when it comes to his public persona and when it comes to him, giving back to the community and, being involved in children's lives and being involved with his family and being a family man, which I find to be beautiful. Because like I said earlier, I'm a big believer in people changing, and I'm a big believer in people, not feeling the same way they did 20 years ago. So it was good that he made a big change to change his public persona. But I also feel like you are a public figure. Kobe Bryant was a public figure. Some negative things happened in his career. He unfortunately has passed away. But I feel like when you look at someone's whole story, when you look at someone's whole lifespan, there are positive things that happen to them and there are negative things that happen to them. But it's all still a part of their legacy. It's all still a part of their life. And I don't think that it's realistic to look over someone's flaws and only focus on the good things that they have done. Your bad things are just as important to your story and your legacy as the good. And being a public figure, I don't think that it was crossing the line for Gayle King to ask Lisa Leslie about the rape allegations. Maybe the timing was wrong. I might say that. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe it was too soon. Maybe it was a bit insensitive. But for people to attack Gayle King and give her death threats, and she has to have security around her. Snoop Dogg and other rappers are just being the most misogynistic a-holes in the world. Like, that interview did not deserve for the kind of misogyny that I've seen from people. Calling Gayle King a dog-faced B-word, just trashing her and other celebrities, going in on her, and it wasn't that serious. You guys are sensitive. You guys, this is a fresh thing. He just passed not even 2 weeks ago. I get it. But it's There have been other news outlets and other journalists within this last 2 weeks that have torn Kobe Bryant apart for these rape allegations. But nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody's paying that any attention. They're only attacking Gayle King. And I just feel like when it comes to Black public figures, when they pass and they've done positive things in their life and they pass or they've created wonderful works of art, or when they've been just really, inspirational people, when I just feel like sometimes the Black community likes to push those negative things aside and only focus on the positive things that person has done, when that's not realistic. It's kind of delusional. And I feel like, even though, like I said earlier, I believe that people change, and even if it wasn't a rape and it was consensual and allegedly the girl was lying, and that's still a part of his story, and it's still left enough openness for people to have opinions about it, have people to feel triggered by it. It wasn't like there was no closure to that case when it comes to if he raped her or not. So I can see both sides. I understand that people are very sensitive about his death and would like for people to not focus on the negative things that he's been accused of. And I also see the other side of people that are like, okay, girl, sorry for his death, but girl, she might have been a rapist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very complicated conversation. And then you get into like the whole like racial part of it. Like, people really felt like he was guilty solely because he was like this Black basketball star, young guy. Like, it was so important for people to accuse him of doing some kind of rape to a white woman. And it was just like, that part is ugly. That part is why I feel like some people are very sensitive about the situation. So I'm there on both sides. Like, I get it. Like, but at the end of the day, I do not believe that Gayle King deserves the kind of negativity and the kind of response that she's getting. I don't think she deserves that. Eventually, someone's going to ask that question. And just because Gayle King is a Black woman does not mean that she's not a journalist. It does not mean that she's not a person that is their career is to ask the hard questions. So I don't think that she deserves any kind of death threats. Maybe a little bit of criticism, but this full-on like attack and misogyny is just disgusting. And the way it's coming from the Black community, the way that the Black community is so gung-ho about protecting the Black woman and saving the Black woman and cherishing the Black woman, y'all are tearing her apart. And I feel like some of y'all didn't even watch the interview or the context of the interview. The interview I watched was much longer, and the questions led up to that. So it wasn't like she just blindsided Lisa Leslie and started asking her all these questions about Kobe Bryant and about these rape allegations. Like, there was a build-up, and it wasn't like I didn't feel like it came from a negative place. I don't think it came from an accusatory place. But I do feel like people need to calm down. People need to realize that a part of your legacy, when you die, people are going to remember the good parts of you, and people are going to remember the bad parts of you. People are going to remember how you made them feel. So there's not everybody's going to feel like Kobe Bryant was this sacred saint of basketball. You know what I mean? Some people really look at him in a negative light. Some people find him to be the most inspirational person on earth, the best basketball player that's ever touched a basketball. Like, it's two different dynamics with no in between. Maybe I'm in between. I wasn't like a big basketball fan, so I guess I'm in between. But from what I'm just saying, like, there's two extremes. There's people loved the hell out of him, and people had a lot of animosity. But at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant was a human being, and he fell into some really dark times. If it was consensual sex or if it was non-consensual, we'll never know. That's not any of our business, really. At the end of the day, he was human and he made mistakes and he maybe made some wrong choices. And also he did some really great things as well. You know, there's always negative and positive. He did some great things in his career. And he made a full transformation from that part of his life into the life he led before he passed away. So, everyone feel the way you want to feel. Feel the animosity or feel the inspiration from him, either or. Let's not attack someone that just asks some hard questions that are very difficult for people to talk about, that are complicated issues. It's a lot to unpack, a lot to break down when it comes to this. And I don't think that people need to attack Gayle King the way they are right now. And that's just how I feel about it. Like I said, it was really difficult for me to formulate an opinion. And at the same time, it also was difficult for me to figure out if I should even say my opinion, because people are very sensitive about this. But I really wanted to get it out because I feel like people are reacting without really knowing the facts and haven't done their research and haven't even watched the full interview or haven't even. I think a lot of times people forget to listen for the tone of words as well. And people only focused on the questions that she asked. They didn't listen to her tone. They didn't listen to the intention behind the questions. There was nothing malicious about those questions. I didn't feel a tone of her accusing him or anything. I didn't feel like she was badgering Lisa about any of the rape allegations. She simply asked about some dark times that one of Lisa's good friends went through, and how does she feel about it. And that's everybody. You know, when Michael Jackson died, people are still trying to accuse that man of molesting children. Like it's never ending. You know, when Michael Jackson died, people were saying good. One less molester on the streets. You know, people were not being sensitive with Michael Jackson either. You know, Michael Jackson's family had to deal with that for years, even before he died. And Michael Jackson has been acquitted and dismissed and all this stuff when it comes to those molestation allegations that he went through. But anyway, that was my opinion about the whole situation. I really hope that Kobe Bryant's family finds peace. I know that losing a family member that close and also losing a younger family member, a child, is difficult. It's hard. You never get over it. You just learn to deal with it. So I really hope for peace to Kobe Bryant's family. Also, I just hope that Gayle King finds some peace. I hope she can get through this as well. And all the fans that are attacking her, just calm down, y'all. Journalists have to ask the hard questions. That's just the journalist life. That's just the way they do. And it might have been too soon, but eventually those questions were going to be asked. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys understood what I was trying to convey. Just comment and share. And tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel about the whole Gayle King and Kobe Bryant's death interview situation. Tell me how you feel about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, no matter what part of the day, what part of the night, what part of the weekend, the weekday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.